Hi all, this is Tim Olson. In this video, we're going to explore some tips related to creating skins with guide curves. Let's begin our discussion by mentioning some of the different surface modeling types available in ViaCAD and Shark. There's 5 primary types that include covering, lofting, nets, sweeping, and finally skinning. Skinning is a construction method that allows you to create a surface typically from a series of cross-section curves. These curves can be open or closed and can create either a surface or a closed solid body. The skin tool is located in the surface tool palette. It's the third icon from the left. Pressing it, you'll find another tool palette pop up containing sub-options consisting of ruled, skin, and skin with guides. Select the third option for skin with guides. Press the option in the data enter window for more options that control the behavior of the surface. Now a few tips related to using skin with guides. Our first tip relates to the condition that guides must intersect exactly a cross-section curve. This is by far the most frequent issue why a surface does not go through a guide curve. To confirm that your cross-section and your guide intersect each other, use the Verify Minimum Distance tool. The second issue that we see is the guide curve must start on the first cross-section. To confirm that your guide starts correctly, use the Verify Show Direction. Another frequent question we get is, can a cross-section have multiple curves? Yes, but remember to use the Group command to group all of your sections into one group. And lastly, if your surface has some unusual twisting on it, check your cross-section for anomalies with their directions using the Verify Show Direction, and if you want to change it, use the Edit Change Direction tool. Okay, let's go ahead and demonstrate our Skin with Guide tool using this collection of curves where we have the blue curves represent cross sections and the 2 green curves represent guide curves. Let's tear out our surface tool palette and select the third option from the left, which is the skin tool. We have ruled, skins, skin with guides. We're going to use the skin with guides with this example set. Holding down the Shift key, following the prompt, let's select the first cross-section curves for our skin tool. Release the Shift key, press it down again to select guide curves. And it constructs the surface given that set of curves, which we can see, hey, it looks like it completely ignored our guide curves. So let's undo and let's go through some of our tips to see why this failed. So our first check is, let's go ahead and see if our section curves intersect our guide curves. And to do that, you can visually inspect them, but you're going to really need to calculate any difference. And to do that, I'm going to use the Verify Minimum Distance tool. So let's go to the arrow tool, pick a couple curves, go to Verify Minimum Distance. And this will precisely tell you the minimum distance between those curves. And these are 0, so that is good. Going on to the next set, there's 0. Let's turn off the gripper. Next set, 0. Next set, 0. And our last set, we can see that this has almost a 0.4 millimeter gap in it. And you can see the minimum distance between the 2 curves. So let's go ahead and correct this. Now, this of course is an ambiguity since you have 2 curves that don't meet in space for the surface construction method. So let's fix this ambiguity up, and we have to move either the guide curve to the cross section or the cross section to the guide curve. In this case, I'm going to move the cross section point to the guide, and to do that, I'm going to calculate the intersection on the guide with the plane of the curve. And let's select a plane and let's create a 3-point plane referencing our spline. And then we'll go ahead and do a cut where we select the plane and we'll intersect our guide curve. This point represents the intersection in that plane. So I can now go select the vertice of the spline and select the translate tool and move that vertex exactly on the guide curve. All right, the other check that we want to do is we want to make sure our guide curves start and with the start profile. So let's select our two guide curves and let's do a verify show direction. Okay, this little arrow indicates this is where the curve starts, the first parameterization of the curve point, and then this is the direction of it. Likewise, let's do the bottom guide curve, verify show direction. And we need to either move the profile to fit the guide or move the guide to fit the profile. In this case, I'm going to modify the guide to start at the beginning of the profile. And to do that, I will go to the some of our trimming and breaking tools, and I'm going to select the segment at location. I will select the guide curve, and I'm going to break it where the profile starts. All right, and now we have two curves. I need to rebuild that into one curve, and I'll use the join curve. I'll select the start and the second curve. And now we have one curve again, only we changed the start point. Likewise, we're going to do the same thing to the guide curve up on top. So we'll select the curve. The location is going to be this intersection and rebuild it. We'll join these two curves back up together. All right, so now our blue curves intersect the guide curves. They touch everywhere. And the guide curves start where the first profile begins. All right, this should be enough for us to construct our correct skin with guide surface. And so let's select our skin with guide, and for the first profile, second, third, fourth, fifth, release the shift key, hold the shift key down to select more than one curve, 1, 2, and here's our resulting surface. All right, so let's say I want to confirm that that really did what it really is, passing through those curves. So let me show you a quick check that I do for that. And that is, I'm going to construct a line. And I'll go to our infinite plane tool, and I will create planes along a curve. And I'm creating 10. And now I'm going to go back to our cut tool, and I'm going to hold down the option key so that it does some auto layering for me. That's where it will all the results of the intersection go into a layer so you can easily grab them. So I'm going to hold down the option key, grab the planes, grab the surface and the guide curve. And now let's go over to our layers and let's isolate that branch and jump into another view. And here you can see these points are the intersection of the plane with the curve, and they should lie on the intersection of the plane with the surface. And you see that they are matching up. Okay, thank you very much. I hope this helps with some tips associated with the skin with guide surface.